Hello and happy Taco Tuesday. Look at me. I got all kinds of things popping up all over the place. Hello. Welcome. I hope that you're having a fantastic day because it's Taco Tuesday, my favorite day of the week. So last week the kids went back to school and it was a little crazy last week. I'm not going to lie. I was like, what's actually happening? Found out my oldest son had to start staying after school, even though I was totally prepared for everybody to ride the bus. And, it was just one of those things where he's in junior high now, which, okay, if you're watching live or watching on the replay, I need to know when you were growing up, did you call it middle school or junior high? Because this is a topic that we discuss a lot in this household, like a lot. Because when I was growing up, it was middle school. We just always said middle school. Maybe that's what it is whenever you're growing up in a small town, but we always called it middle school. And my husband, granted, okay, I grew up in East Texas, he grew up in West Texas. He says, no, it's junior high. It's always been junior high. And my son's 7th and 8th grade campus is a junior high. And I'm like, well, why? It just makes more sense as a middle school. I don't know. Maybe it's a totally irrelevant topic, but I say it is middle school. He can say it's junior high, whatever. Hello. So happy that you're here, Oshashana. I want to make sure that I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So Osho, see, now that I think about it, I'm totally going to mess it up. So Osho Sanya, is it Sanya? Because I feel like I said it wrong yesterday. You're participating from Nigeria. So happy that you're here today, y'all. Tuesdays are my favorite day of the week for many reasons. One, I love tacos. So Taco Tuesday. But two, something with Mondays, right? It's like you hit your stride on Tuesday whenever you actually really get out there and you're like, okay, Monday is a little crazy, like back to school, like from the weekend, all the things. But on Tuesday, I'm like, okay, it was a little bit easier for me to wake up this morning and I feel like I hit the ground running. And I don't know, it was just okay. So, Nancy, I thought junior high was an old term for my generation that was no longer used. Interesting. It's really like, and I thought it was so we live in the Houston area. And I'm like, well, maybe that's just what they call it in the Houston area. I don't know. I don't know. But it was always middle school whenever I was growing up. So I love hearing your perspective. You did your best. So that means that I did it wrong. But I hope that you appreciate the effort because I really am trying. I'm really trying. So maybe you can spell it out phonetically for me so I can say it properly. I do apologize, but I did try my best. I'm glad that you saw that I was trying my best. So again, I'm so happy that you're here from Nigeria hanging out with us. Hi, Diane. We have Diane from Nashville. So happy that y'all are here. So I see some of our folks from our 5-day podcast challenger here. Just know that this right now, our live together, is not part of our challenge. This is just my weekly live show. So make sure that you come back at 1 p.m. Central for our 5-day podcast challenge training. Yes, I'm a little crazy to do it like several live streams today. I had a call earlier, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Actually, I wanted to point this out because I was talking to my mom. We talk on a pretty regular basis. And yesterday I told her, I was like, I don't know that I can take it down to like 50%. She was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, because I did our first day of our live yesterday, or, our 5-day podcast challenge. It was live. I did a live presentation just like we're doing here. And I was on fire with how much energy, how much engagement, all the things that were happening in our Facebook group for the 5-day challenge. And I got a little nervous. I was like, I'm going to lose my voice. If I come every single day with that much energy, that much like everything, I'm going to lose my voice. But I told her, I was like, I don't know how to take it down to like 50%. I feel like with me, like whenever I go live, when I do a presentation, when I do a podcast episode, YouTube, like it's all or nothing. I don't know how to just kind of halfway do it. So, yeah, if I end up losing my voice by the end of the week, you'll know why. You will know why. It's because I don't know how to tone it down, even just a little bit. I don't even know. Hi, Jessica from Orlando, Florida. So happy that you're here. So happy that you're here. Okay, so we are going to dive into. So I was talking earlier about why I love Tuesdays. I love Taco Tuesday. I love that it's not Monday, basically. And the third reason is there's a brand new episode of the Profit Podcast. So if you did not know this, I have a weekly podcast. Oh, I always try to do it. I never get it right. So y'all, look at this scar. I noticed this yesterday. So hang on. I always try to do the thing where like you get the camera to focus. Hang on. Maybe if I cover my face. I can't do it. Whoopah. Oh, you see how there's like a little discoloration right there? I love cinnamon rolls, but I hate the oven that burned me whenever I was trying to take my cinnamon rolls out. Look, you can see it way better from way back here. But anytime I put my arm up and I point to this poorly, obviously, I don't know how to point, but I'm reminded of my cinnamon roll scar from 2, maybe 3 Christmases ago. So yeah, that's always what I think of. I point up here and then I think about cinnamon rolls. That and they're delicious. So anyway, total side tangent. Like this is obviously the live that isn't the hard-hitting stuff. There's a lot of rabbit holes we're going on down here. But okay, so today's episode is all about how to create a thriving podcast community. So I really love the idea of whenever you get your podcast up and running, you create a community around it. This can look like so many different things, so many different perspectives, so many different platforms that you can use. And so in today's episode, I really dove into how to create that culture, like how to have a great podcast community. And like, spoiler alert, so I'm just going to go ahead and give away the thing that I said in the episode. It doesn't happen overnight. At least it didn't for me. It has taken me several years to really grow a community around my podcast because simply I didn't really know what audience I was speaking to in the beginning of my journey with my show. If you don't know this, I had a different podcast. I rebranded. I turned it into the Profit Podcast, what it is today. And that transition was really weird. It was like, should I just scrap everything and start from scratch? Like, what does it actually look like to rebrand? And how do I go about this? And I was so wrapped up in rebranding my show that I kind of dropped the ball on my community, which is our Facebook group. We have a free Facebook group. Actually, if you want to join us, I think I have. Oh, yeah, here it is. So you can go to crystalprofit.com/podcast community, and that will take you to our free Facebook group. I do post every week in there. I have a thread where you can share your latest podcast episodes, and we do that every week. And it's always a lot of fun to see how everyone's journey is progressing. And I love that people will say, hey, I listened to this episode, or I'm bookmarking it and it's on my list. I'm going to listen to it later, or I just left you a rating and a review. So if you're looking for a community like that, then I encourage you to join us. But it really took a while because I totally just dropped the ball. And I thought, well, why do I need to create a community when I'm posting on social media? Isn't that the same? And in today's episode, I talked about a Facebook group isn't the only way to create a community. I have seen other successful podcast communities, podcast organizations, like just different places for you to grow and connect with your listeners. Maybe you have a business podcast and these are your potential customers as well. But I think that just creating a space where people can come and share, get inspired, get motivation. I think that it's just a great thing to think about as you go on your podcast journey. Now, one thing that I really want to note is I don't want you thinking about this if you're just starting. Like if you are like, I don't even have my podcast launched. I don't have the name of my podcast. I don't have anything. Like I like take everything in today's episode with the idea in mind that maybe one day I will create this, because what I find is brand new podcasters will often try to do all the things all at once, and they want it done yesterday. I totally get it. I get it. I have the same kind of motivation, stubbornness, hard-headedness, and I want to do all the things even though people tell me I can't do all the things and I only have 24 hours in a day and I want to conquer the world tomorrow. Like this is just innately who I am. If you know anything about the Enneagram is a personality test. There's a quiz online that you can take. You can just Google best Enneagram. Oh gosh, if I spell this, hang on. ENNEA gram. This is GRAM, Enneagram. And I hope I spelled that right. Somebody please put in the comments how you spell Enneagram. But I am an Enneagram 3. There is a spectrum from a 1 to the number 9, and I'm a 3, which is an achiever, which means I don't even need people putting pressure on me because I put so much pressure on myself. And whenever I decided to do a rebrand for my show, I thought, oh my gosh, I have to do this rebrand. It has to be successful. I need to have all of the downloads. Oh, anytime I move my hand, it like makes everything get out of focus. I don't know why it does that. And by the way, I'm like really frustrated with my camera setup because I want to have where you can't see my like microphone arm. Oh, look, watch out. I'm going to get fancy for a second. I could break everything. Whoa, zoomed in too much on my camera. Is that better? Maybe it'll focus more. I don't know. I shouldn't mess with things like while we're live because just bad things happen. Bad things will happen. Oh, okay. What software are you using for these pop-ups? So, Facebook user, I don't know who this is, but if you go to where you're watching this live stream at the top, you'll see a link that says allow StreamYard permission to show your name. It's basically, so StreamYard, to answer your question, StreamYard is a software I'm using. But if you click on that link, it'll allow StreamYard and Facebook to be best friends and talk to one another. And then it'll show your name like Diane's. So I can see Diane's name, but I can't see yours. But it's just, if you click on that link, it should, you might have to refresh the live and then it will show your name. Oh yeah, you're number 3. You're a 3. The Enneagram 3s, like I think all Enneagrams, like once they know what their number is, and then they can see the characteristics, the traits. There's a lot of awesome Instagram accounts that explain Enneagram. And I love the ones that are like so accurate. So accurate. I will see them and say, how does this person know who I am? Like, I feel like they know my deep, dark secrets of, oh, I really am hardest on myself. I don't need anybody else pushing me. Or just you have to go take the Enneagram personality test. I think it's so good. It's so much fun. And I learned so much about myself, but also other people around me. Like I know my mom, she's an Enneagram 5, and I always forget which like there's different labels. I think it's like the researcher, something like that. I don't know, because I know it has to do with it's like really data driven and understanding like the different nuances, like give me all the information, give me all the details, which is why my mom, she has a podcast. It's called the Edible Gardens podcast. And she goes into like in depth all the details of everything that has to do with gardening. And I now understand why I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know that I want to know all the things about gardening, but she has really like kind of carved her own space in the gardening edible landscape niche that's out there because she goes so far into the scientific microorganisms that maybe other people that are more high level don't go into. So anyway, that's just a little bit about Enneagrams. Why I'm trying to remember, why did we start talking about this? Oh, because I'm an Enneagram 3. You gotta love live video tangents. They're the best, right? But I'm an Enneagram 3. And so whenever I started my podcast, my rebrand, I was just like, I'm going to do all the things. I want to do all the things. I want to have a thriving podcast community with thousands of people in there, and I want to grow it, and I want it all to happen yesterday. And I'm already behind because I don't have but like 20 people in my group. I was really hard on myself. And I see other podcasters doing this too. So if you're just getting started and it feels overwhelming to create a community, that's okay. Listen to today's episode with what your goals are. So you're thinking in the future, okay, right now, especially if you joined us in the 5-day challenge yesterday, you know what your goal is. And if you're like, I just want to launch my podcast, just launch your podcast. Maybe put creating and establishing a podcast community in your Q4 goals or in your 2022 goals. Ooh, that sounds weird to say. It sounds weird. Like I was writing the date the other day and I was like, what year is this? Which obviously that should not be an issue. We're almost in September, but I guess I just don't write the date enough. I don't know. But I was like, wait, it's about to be 2022 in a few months. And that kind of freaked me out. Like just saying it out loud sounds super, super weird. But anyway, okay. So I just wanted to tell y'all we have a brand new podcast episode out today. I did not come here today to talk at you the whole time. I really wanted to see if anybody has any questions. So if you have any questions, now's the time to ask them. I'm only going to be able to stay on for about 15 minutes or so. So if you have any podcast questions, now's your time. This is a free for all. And if you haven't, we actually have some good episodes. Oh, look, I did it again. Boop, boop. Oh, look, now you can't see my scar because it's further away. Oh, see, now I can't do it at all. I need to just go straight up and down. I need to get my friend Melanie. She does these GIFs for her live streams. It's GIFs of herself. And she has one where she's going like this or dancing. So, Mel, if you're watching, I need to know how to make a GIF of myself where I'm just going like this. I can't even do it right now, where I'm pointing to like, go check this out. And maybe I could say that, go check this out. Go check this out. Oh my gosh, y'all. It's gotten just silly around here. And my stomach is growling. Oh my goodness. This is ridiculous. Because I wake up at 5 a.m. I drink a ton of coffee. Let's just be really honest, very transparent. I drink a lot of coffee in the morning. And then I don't eat a super big breakfast, but y'all, it is 10:18 my time. And I'm going to go have lunch at 10:30, like right after this. I'm going to go have lunch because I'm starving. And then I'm going to prepare for the second day of our 5-day podcast challenge. So let me put this information up there. Let me take that down for a second. If you are in the podcast challenge, I want you to put in the comments, put an emoji in there or say, that's me. I'm in. Put something in there letting us know that you're participating in our 5-day podcast challenge. But it's not too late if you're like, what are you talking about? This is the first time I'm hearing of this. We're doing a 5-day podcast challenge to help people lay the foundation of their podcast from yesterday. We started on Monday. Don't worry, there's replays of everything. And we set this up in we have a private Facebook group. So you'll join the group. You can watch the replay from yesterday and then our live training for today, because we haven't done it yet. I'm going to go finish preparing and I'll see you in a few hours, everybody that's registered. But we start at 1 p.m. Central, where I go into a deep dive discussion on one specific topic. Yesterday's topic was picking your podcast goal, which I thought was so much fun. And I love seeing everybody's goals that they're striving for their show. And today's topic, coincidentally, is about picking a podcast topic. So if you're someone that's like, man, I just have all the ideas. I have 5 different topics that I love all of them so much. How do I choose which one? Or maybe you're like, I don't have any ideas. How do I choose one? Then you need to join us in the podcast challenge. We're going to talk about topic today. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about naming your show. On Thursday, we're going to talk about common mistakes that brand new podcasters often make. And then on Friday, we're going to talk about launching your show. And we have prizes. Y'all got so dang excited about these yesterday, and Buzzsprout was so happy too. Y'all, this is what we gave away. So it says, quiet, please, podcast in progress. It's a door hanger. It's a door hanger. So simple, so effective. So it was so great. I got a message from one of the winners saying, oh, my wife has one of these for whenever she records, but now I have one. It's just mine. I was like, yes, I'm going to send this to you. And now you have your own door hanger for when you're recording your podcast. Now, to get people in your family to actually read it and adhere to what it says, that you're on your own. You're on your own in doing that. But okay, I'm going to see if we have any questions. Oh, okay. We got one from Veronica. What is the best software to use to record my episode? Okay. I have several suggestions, but I am going to answer this based on a few different factors. So whenever you're picking a podcast software, I always like to think of your budget. Can you pay for something, or do you just need something free? User friendliness, because even if something's free doesn't always mean it's going to be super user friendly for yourself. And then the third is, are you going to do solo podcast or interviews? Now, based on all of those, Veronica, I'm going to tell you what I have done in my journey. And I have changed from whenever I was first starting to what I have now. So I have a PC. I don't have a Mac. So for Mac users, you could always get started with GarageBand. There's tons of tutorials on YouTube on how to get started, but it's not something that I have firsthand experience and knowledge with. So I don't ever tell people, let me answer your GarageBand questions. I don't know. I don't know anything about GarageBand. I really don't. My kids know more about it than I do. I don't know how to use it. But I started with Audacity. So Audacity is something that you can download for free. You can just Google Audacity software and you'll find lots of downloads that you can use. It's open software in that you can download it and just use it for free on your PC. I started with Audacity. I have several tutorials on my YouTube channel. I can see you're watching on YouTube, so you can check out my Audacity tutorials to get you started. And then I used that for about 2 years. And then I upgraded to a software called Hindenburg. And it is a paid platform, or it's a paid software. But oh my gosh, the difference in Audacity, that's still fairly easy to use. And Hindenburg was night and day for me because it does a lot of the auto leveling, which means if I were to import 2 pieces of audio, and let's say I did an interview and my volume was here, but my guest's volume was way up here, which is really surprising because I'm a super loud person and most people usually aren't louder than me. But what would happen is if I imported both of those into the software, it would bring everything to the same level. So I don't have to do that manually. So again, that was Hindenburg. This is the software that I have used. If you're a Buzzsprout user, Buzzsprout is my hosting site, what I was just talking about earlier. This is my hosting site. Ooh, if I can do that. Hang on. My friend was like, you have to do what the beauty makeup tutorial people do. I'm like, I don't watch those videos. Do you see this? I don't watch those videos. But if you're a Buzzsprout user, they actually have discounts for Hindenburg, because that's a paid platform. So great question, Veronica. Great question. Hi, Laura. So happy that you're here. Diane says, that's me. Diane is in our challenge. So good. Yesterday turned into a train wreck. Uh-oh. I hope that everything's okay. Maybe you were referring to not being able to make it to our live training for the challenge. That's okay. There are plenty of replays. Okay. I use Audacity to edit my podcast, but file size after editing is usually very large. Is there anything I can do to make the audio file size to a moderate level? I have not particularly run into this issue. The only thing that I can think of is if you're saving it as a WAV file, sometimes those tend to be a little bit larger than an MP3. I wonder if it's the file type. That's the thing I would honestly Google how can I, make it smaller. There's a few different I don't love like compressing a file, especially if you're worried about like is this going to mess with anything in like the actual audio inside. This is more of a technical question that I don't really have a great answer to, other than I just know MP3 files tend to be a little bit smaller than WAV files. So maybe you can try that and see if it's not as big. But other than that, I would, you might have to do some Googling on how to save a file as a little bit smaller because I've never run into that issue. And I wonder if it's the length of an episode. I'd be curious to know how long your audio file is as an Audacity file before you save it as an MP3 or a WAV. So yeah, if you have some more info, I can definitely help you with that. I need to niche down. You need to niche down. Well, I hope that you're coming to today's training so you can learn more about your topic and niching down. Good morning. So happy that you're here. So happy that you're here. So it says activate LA. I'm assuming you're in Los Angeles, which would mean it's like 8:30 where you are. Because I was thinking, isn't it? It's almost noon, but it's not. It's not even noon where I am. But I was thinking that it was. Okay, yeah. I usually use Wave. I'm going to try MP3. Yeah, see if that works. That's the first thing I could think of that you could try. But then I also use Cloud Convert. So cloudconvert.com. It's where I will convert, a video file to an MP3 or, if I have to do any kind of file conversion, I'll use that. And you could see if they have something to do with making the file size smaller. But like I said, I don't want you messing up the original Audacity file. I don't know. I'm just trying to think if there was any backlash from that. That's just a more technical question that I'm not sure of. So if you try switching it to an MP3, see if that helps. If it doesn't, if you're a Buzzsprout user, I would ask this question in the Buzzsprout Facebook community because they have a lot of people that are have a lot more technical knowledge than I do when it comes to the file compression and if it has any impact on the actual audio whenever it's done. So that's a great question. I want to know about sound effects. Ooh, this is good. Is it just an app that I can download and use a Bluetooth speaker so the mic can pick it up, or is it an external unit? Oh, Diane, this is a great question. And I don't typically do sound effects within my podcast. So I know that within Audacity, there are a ton of plugins that you can use. I have a good friend. Her name is Carrie Ann Reed Brown, and she is so good about knowing all the things with Audacity. So I don't know if Audacity is the platform that you're using, but it's the one that I think of that has so many different types of plugins. So I would probably do some research about sound effects. And if Diane, I know you're in our challenge, but if you are a part of the Buzzsprout group, Jordan Blair, she is in, I think she might be Jordan Snodgrass in the Buzzsprout group, but she does a lot of a heavily produced podcast. It's more of the soundscapes behind it. So it doesn't have as many like sound effects, but she might be someone else to reach out to as well. Okay. So it is. I use Audacity. Yeah. I would look up best sound effects plugins, and I would try to be very specific. Like maybe if you're thinking of a very specific sound effect that you're looking to have in there, whether it's and this is silly, all I can think of is Roger Rabbit right now, or not Roger Rabbit. Hang on, it was The Mask. I think of The Mask whenever he turns into all like the cartoon, like the dog and everything, and he like has that car horn that's super obnoxious. That is the only sound effect that I have in my head right now. And that's probably not what you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for claps or other different types of sound effects that you could have, like the audience applause. I don't know what kind of sound effects, but I would try to get as specific as possible and use the word Audacity in a Google search and say sound effects for Audacity, and then use the specific ones that you're looking for. That's all that I know. And that is coming from someone that doesn't use sound effects. So this is a great question for me to know. So I would love for you to share whenever you find a great place. Yeah. I'm part of, oh, okay. I was clicking on this one and the Melanie's popped up. I'm part of the Buzzsprout group as well. Yeah. So you can ask in there. But Melanie, hi Melanie. Let me just welcome you to our show here. Yeah, I use Epidemic Sound. It's a subscription service for music and sound effects. Tons in there. So I know, because this is where it gets tricky for anybody that's watching and you're wondering about music, it gets tricky whenever you just find random music here or there. You have to be very cognizant of copyright and making sure you're not, even sound effects. Even sound effects have copyrights that you have to make sure that you're not using something and distributing it across your podcast, across a YouTube channel, that you're not supposed to be using it in that way. So, but Epidemic Sound is a great place to do that. I've heard other, I use Audio Jungle, which is, I always forget what their like parent company name, it's like Innovato or something, but they are who I get my music from, but I keep the same music and I use it over and over again. I don't change different sound effects from time to time. So this is great. It's kind of weird, but I really want to co-host. It's going to be kind of funny. I need the sound effects as a co-host. Okay, this is great. This is great. I love this idea. Like this is unique. This is not something that I hear all the time. So I think that this is fantastic. It's super niche. Super niche. Yeah. So Envato, so not Innovato, whatever I said, Audio Jungle is what I use for my music. And if I were to go look for sound effects, that's where I would go, because you just pay a one-time fee and you own the rights to use those. Now, keep in mind that other people may have the exact same sound effects, but I mean, maybe you don't care about that. I don't care if someone else has my exact same music, because they won't be using it the same way that I do. So, yeah, my earrings even have copyrights. She's a mess, y'all. She's a mess. Y'all, welcome to the show, Melanie Diane Howe. I'm just kidding. How funny would it be if it'd be like, oh, she's in the green room. Let's welcome her on. She is the live stream queen. And yeah, we were talking about live streaming earlier. So Melanie, I was talking about your GIFs and how I need one. You need to show me how to make one where I point up and down whenever I put one of these up, because I can never point to it right, because it's opposite of what my camera is. I'm always like, wait, this one. Oh, wait, that's not right. Go this way. So I need a GIF where I'm just pointing up and down like this. So we need to make that happen. So Melanie's my go-to for all things live. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is so good. GarageBand has some built-in sound effects. So I told y'all I don't use GarageBand to edit my podcast, to create my podcast, but this is so good to know for anybody that's watching. GarageBand has some built-in sound effects. So thank you so much for sharing this. You can export MP3s of the sounds from Epidemic Sound and add them to Audacity. See, we're all learning. We're all learning together. All learning together. Yes, Audio Jungle is great. Teresa, go check it out. I can vouch for them. Y'all, feel like I've done the gamut when it comes to music. I have hired a producer off of Fiverr. This was the very first music experience I had in podcasting. I've reached out to a DJ, a musician that I had seen. I could not afford either one of them. So I was like, nope, we got to go a different route. And then I've purchased from Audio Jungle. So I feel like I've gone a few different avenues of how to create, get music for my podcast. But I feel like we're always learning, always learning. Yeah. So someone else has them. No worries. Okay. So I would totally join you right now. Melanie, do we need to come on? Oh, look, I can show you. Well, come on. Come on, what are you doing? Where do you want me to invite you? Y'all, I told y'all I was going to be gone at 10:30. But Melanie, I need you to go check your messenger on Facebook. Oh, we're going rogue here now. Totally rogue. I was going to say the wheels have fallen off, but I don't want to say that. That's not good. Oh, she says, send me the link. Okay. Y'all totally don't you love it when you show up live? Y'all about to get a lesson. About to get a lesson in impromptu. She's coming. Look, show me the link. I can show you. I sent you the link. I need you to come on in. Come on in. Come on down. You're the next contestant on Crystal Profits live stream. Y'all, if you thought I was a big dork before, you didn't even know. You did not even know. All right, Melanie. I sent you the link. I see that you grabbed it. Let me clean up my y'all, I'm not even kidding. Like Melanie is legit the real deal when it comes to live streams. So now I feel like I got to sweep some stuff under the rug so she doesn't see how much of a mess my StreamYard is right now. I don't want her to see that. This is so fun. Okay. Well, come on, Mel. Where you at, girl? Let's get you logged in. Oh, there she is. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages around the world, welcome to the show. Melanie Diane Howe. Yeah.
Hold on, I got to get my framing so I'm like you.
Hey, I don't have my, hang on. We're going to
get those headphones in, girl. We can't be having echo. No echo. We ain't got time for that.
How are you?
Good. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, let me clean up my act here. Let me get all
clean up. Whatever. Okay. Hey, the camera looks good. The ZV-1, right? That's what you're using.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes. Well, I had to. We were talking about this earlier. I had to like zoom it in a little bit because it kept like grab it. I'd put my hand here and like it's all funky. Boop. Hang on. Yeah.
Go with the. I don't want to
do that because guys, I need a manicure in the work.
You don't want to see my nails. Go with the other layout though. I like the other layout. Make us bigger. Go widescreen with our views.
That she was gonna.
Come on, there we go.
Yeah.
Look at that background.
Bossy.
Do you have any other backgrounds?
The leaves one. I just deleted all my other backgrounds because
why?
Because they weren't good. They weren't good backgrounds.
I'm gonna make you a background right now while you're talking.
No,
what's going on?
No, you're not.
What are we talking about?
You're gonna show me the epidemic sound stuff.
I can do that.
Asking about sound effects.
Okay.
What do you mean? It's a subscription. How much is it? How much do you pay? Is it for someone just beginning, or would this be for someone later on down the road?
So it's a subscription service. And so it's not, here's the thing, like you were talking about Audio Jungle, which on my podcast, actually the music on my podcast is a song I bought and downloaded from Audio Jungle. And the difference between something like Audio Jungle and Epidemic Sound is that Audio Jungle is, like you said, hey, here's a song I like, or a package of songs. Like I bought like a zip, it's like a package and it gave you like a 45-second version, a 2-minute version, a 15-second version, all those things for like $15, right? Yeah. And that's that song. And as you said, you can use it for, now you have to be careful. So there's definitely different license restrictions. So like it might say you can use this for one podcast and that's it. You have to buy additional licenses if you want to use it for something else, right? So be careful about that with things like Audio Jungle. But the difference is that those are, you buy that file and you have the files and you're good to go. But that's all you got. $15 and you got that one song, right? Or that one sound, that one bundle of sound effects. Sound effects is probably, you're going to look at, it's going to say things like, here's 30 sound effects for whatever.
Okay.
Epidemic Sound is a subscription service. And so what Epidemic Sound is it's a huge library. I mean, it's like you could get lost for days finding the perfect sound effect. And it's, depending on the one you go for, I think I'll look up the pricing here in just a sec. Actually, I can look it up right here. The pricing is, let me share my screen, I guess, Crystal, and you can pull this up if you want. So you've got different licenses, right? Different subscriptions. So the personal one is $12 a month. And now it, of course, is different depending on whether you pay yearly or monthly. But then you get into these other plans, and those are going to be different based on what you get. You basically get access to the whole thing. But it's going to change, like digital ads, for example. You would need the commercial license. If you're using it for TV shows, you need the commercial license, right? So there's definitely some differences. The personal license is going to cover your YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and podcasts. Okay. So you can absolutely use the personal license if you have one podcast and you want to use it on social media as well. So Diane, I see your comment and I can give you a couple of ideas about how you can make that work. So and that's why Epidemic Sound might be something you'd want to look into. So the difference between Audio Jungle and Epidemic Sound is Epidemic Sound, you pay $12 a month. You can use all this stuff whenever you want, all the time. So for me, my live streams, I like to start my live videos and I have a little countdown and I dance and I like to change the music up every so often. And so I have access to all these songs. Plus, you guys, I kind of like the music. Sometimes I just play it like while I'm working. I'll just go to Epidemic Sound. I'll click on one of their playlists. So real quick, I'll show you just the way this works. So you have like these different playlists, right? Now, I'm not going to click on any of these because Crystal does not have a subscription. And since we're streaming on Crystal's account,
shut us all down.
She would get in trouble.
All of it.
She'd get in trouble. But you guys can all go to Epidemic Sound on your own and you can actually you can listen to all this music you want. You just can't use it, right? So anyway, you notice here that they break it all. They have it all in these, different organizations. Well, they also have a podcast category. And when you listen to these, they actually sound like it, like you're like, yeah, that sounds like something I'd hear on a podcast. But sound effects is the same thing. So Diane, one of the things that you could do is you can actually make a playlist. So let's say, for example, you want, I don't know, weather, you want some thunder or something, right? You would actually go to the plus sign and you can create a new playlist that might say, podcast sound effects. And there you go. So now we have a playlist. And so I can go add all these different, sound effects to my podcast sound effects. Right, I'll just add one more for fun. And then there it is. Now I can go up to me and I can see my podcast sound effects. And there they are. So I could actually have this open. I can download all of these if I wanted to. And then I can add them to do what you're talking about. So what Diane says, if you're going to pull her comment up, Crystal, she says, so my concept is that I'd be talking and I could push a button and be interrupted by a baby crying or something like that, right? So there are a couple ways you can do this. You could invest in a piece of hardware like a Rodecaster Pro, which is actually going to let you can program buttons to play certain sound effects that are installed on your computer. And that is also a piece of equipment you can use to record your podcasts and all those things. And they're fairly expensive. There are other pieces of hardware you can buy that basically are doing that. You're adding a file to your computer and you're programming a button on that piece of hardware. There's also software that will do the same thing. So Diane, let me know if you're on a PC or a Mac. That would be the question I'd have there. But what you can do is you can actually, however you're recording, you can make it so that Epidemic Sound is playing in that recorder. She's using Audacity, which I think is limited. I wonder, which the one that you use again starts with an H?
Hindenburg.
I wonder if Hindenburg, she's a PC. Okay. I wonder if Hindenburg has a way where you can actually say, record my microphone, but also record my computer sounds. And if that's the case, then you would literally just play that computer sound while you're recording and it would record into your podcast, right? And that's really the difference here is that you would want that, right? You'd want that ability to record the computer sound. So really, Diane, you can either invest in hardware or there's applications you can also buy that do the same thing. On a PC, there's actually a free one called Voice Meter. So you might want to look into Voice Meter, but go watch YouTube tutorials first. I cannot tell you how to use Voice Meter. I've actually never done it. So I use Wavelink. So that's how I bring in music and sound effects into all of my stuff is I use the Wavelink app, which came with my Elgato Wave 3 microphone. So there you go. Did we just go down a rabbit hole or what?
We did. And now Teresa has a question.
Okay.
So you're here. You're here. You're answering
I'm here for
now.
it, girl. My show's not for like another hour and 15 minutes. So yeah.
Well, you.
Not like I didn't have anything else to do today, like the things we were talking about on our Vox chat this morning. But can you use a personal subscription for your free podcast or do you need to spring for the commercial subscription? No, you can absolutely use the personal subscription for a free podcast. Yes, you have to pay for that personal subscription, they don't care if your podcast is free or no. Like it's basically, think of it this way. A lot of times when we see these subscription based things, they'll say like, personal is for like your own personal use. But if you're a business, you have to buy a commercial one. That's actually really not the case. If you are creating content or designing things if you're a producer and you're selling your services to other businesses, then you would need commercial for this. So that basically extends your rights to use the song to your client. And so there's actually a process you even have to go through. So let's say, for example, if I'm a video producer and I make a video for you, Teresa, and I pick this song that's on my subscription. Well, I have to take wherever you publish that video, I have to make sure Epidemic Sound knows that I produced that video for you. So I have to authenticate your video in my subscription. So it is a little wonky in how that all works, but that doesn't sound like that's what you're doing. Personal use basically means you're using these sound effects and this music for your own content. That's what it means.
That's great. It's great. Yeah. Rabbit hole.
We do that. We definitely do that.
We do that a lot.
So I want to clarify something really quick because somebody did say for music, I've gone to choosic.com, free music, cinematic. Yeah. So here's the risk with free music, royalty-free music. If they change their mind, now everything you've used is no longer valid. That's actually happened before where music people will come out and say, hey, you can use my songs for free. But then all of a sudden they get kind of big and they decide, hey, now I want to actually copyright my music. Well, now all of your stuff is no longer protected. That actually can happen. There's a lot of laws right now. There's a lot of crap going on in the world where there are people trying to protect creators, meaning like for something like that, where you're like, well, what the heck? It was free when I used it. When I published that video, it was free at the time, which technically you should be protected. So there are laws trying to protect us as creators from these people who are saying their music's free. And then all of a sudden they like go make it not free. And then they like try to sue all these people. There's that. But then there's also a lot of laws trying to protect content or music creators and these people where people are actually like stealing their content and their music, like you said, the sound effects. The thing about Epidemic Sound is, so that everybody understands, is let's say you create a video today and you use an Epidemic Sound song and you have a subscription, but then next month you're like, this isn't for me. I'm going to cancel my subscription. Your video that you did today while you had that subscription is okay. And it will be okay. When you cancel the subscription and then try to use the music for stuff, it gets crazy. Like repurposing content, any of that kind of stuff. If you create it, it just gets a little bit hairy. So definitely just make sure you read up on all that stuff. But if you're the kind of, it's really not a good fit for somebody who just needs a song for their intro, for their podcast, or I just want to use these 5, sound effects for my show, then you probably would be better off doing what Crystal mentioned, which is go to Audio Jungle, buy that song, buy a package of sound effects and use it there. If you're somebody who's going to be you want a variety all the time and you have that kind of budget, then you would maybe want to look at one of those subscriptions. But for most people, especially podcasters, you probably are going to be better off just going and buying, a song or two so that you can check that out. So, and yeah, Audio Jungle, you can sample all the music. You can even download samples. It'll just have this Audio Jungle that plays like every 6 seconds. Audio Jungle. It's like
it's weird.
It's the musical watermark is what it is,
But it's so weird because it's like, it's almost like the announcement that you would hear if you were like in an elevator or so. Like, it's really weird. It's or like if you're in the Matrix or something. I don't know. It's just like,
I don't know.
Weird.
It creeps me out. First time I heard it, I was like, wait, what are they? What is that? Yeah. And then I realized what it was. Yeah, Creative Commons is another thing that's pretty common. That goes with images, but the same thing can happen there. Somebody can revoke it and say that it's no longer free under a Creative Commons license. It's more, and I don't know. I'm not a copyright expert. I can tell you that. I know enough to be dangerous, but I always say do your research, read the fine print, and also don't be afraid to, like, if it's a company, whether it be that site, the choosic.com, one of those, just reach out to the company and give them your scenario, give them your question about how you want to use it and let them answer. Is anyone a copyright expert? No. That's hilarious. I haven't found one. If you find one, send them my way because I'd love to bring them on my show. But no,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, for
a lot
sure.
of things to think
Sure.
about there for sure.
Oh my gosh. Well, Melanie, thank you so much for
Hey, we
hopping
need to
on
work
with
on your
us.
GIF though. We need to get you your GIF. And
We do, because I feel like I've been talking about this for at least a year and a half, and that's not an exaggeration.
I finally made a video.
I'm like,
StreamYard's YouTube channel has a video I made that literally gives you the step-by-step on how to create those transparent GIF files. So you might have to go check that out, watch it, sit down and watch it for a minute. But
well,
the trick about
hang
the
on,
pointing, do you want that
hang
trick?
on, hang on. I
What?
want you to first tell everybody what is StreamYard, because maybe
Oh,
somebody's watching this. They're like, but they keep talking about this. I don't even know what they're talking about. Tell us what
it's
StreamYard is.
only the best live streaming application known to man and women. I mean, literally, it's what we're using right now. It's how Crystal was able to literally just be like, "Come on the show," and she grabbed
Do
the link, sent it
this.
to me, and here we are. And then same thing with comments, like displaying comments and sharing screen,
Your
like what we were doing
beautiful view.
earlier. Yeah, yeah, all of that is actually the application that Crystal and I both love to use. And I know, there's so much you can do. There's a free version, there's a basic, and then there's a professional plan. But the free plan is, if you're just getting started with live video,
Awesome.
it's so awesome. Like
Perfect.
it's fantastic. So, but yeah, I got to tell you the trick though, the
Okay,
whole
tell
pointing
me.
trick. All right.
Tell me.
So
Okay.
look in your
Do
screen.
I need to stretch? Oh, okay.
You can if you really want to. Look in your screen. Okay. So like, for example, I know that, so that logo you were trying to point to earlier, right? Whatever. You know that is when you look at it on screen. So pull a logo up. Let's do that.
Okay, hang on. Hang on.
Okay, now you go full
Okay.
screen to you, and I'm going to coach you through this. Go full screen to
Okay.
you. Go solo mode. Okay. All right. Now you see where that logo is on your screen, of course, right? So
Yeah.
what happens is people always point the wrong direction. So,
Yes.
but think about what's in your room. You know what's behind you. Like that little trophy thing's on that side of you, right?
Yeah.
So that's how you know which way to point. So pull me back up.
Hang on. Patience.
There you go. All right. So if we were to do the virtual high five, looking on the screen, I feel like I need to go
High
that
five.
way. But the
Yeah.
reason I know I'm not to is because I look on screen and I know that my bookshelves are next to Crystal. Well, I know that my bookshelves are on that side of me. So that's the trick with the whole, like, which way do you point and how do you do something? Look at yourself on screen, know where your stuff is in your office or your studio. And then it's like that, right? So that's the trick.
Sound effects.
Yeah.
I feel like you're like trying to get a horse.
I don't know. It did sound like I was like, heel. Giddy up. Let's go. I always make sound effects when I do things. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just did one the other day and I was like, it's like, I was like, and I
Well, I was going to tell Diane, she doesn't need to buy any. She could just hire you to do sound effects for
Diane,
her.
I'll record some for you. I can't do the baby crying, but I could do some other ones.
Oh my gosh.
My favorite is the foghorn. Wah.
We've lost it. We've
Totally
lost
rabbit hole.
guys.
I'll let you have your show back. How about that? I'll let you have your
Okay.
show back.
Well,
but
okay.
you need to get that GIF made.
I do, because I really have been talking. It's the pointing one, as well as I really like the gosh, what is the other one that you have? Is it confetti?
Oh
no,
yeah.
it's mind blown. Can you even do that though? Because you're on yours.
No, but I can show it. I can share my screen and show it real fast. It'll be fast. We'll do this real quick. It'll be easy peasy.
Because we need to. I mean, honestly, I feel weird seeing you live on camera, and I can't see the lava lamps either.
What do you mean? They're right there.
No. I mean the lava lamp webcam. Okay, guys.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm not using
a lava lamp webcam. Are you kidding me? Yes, like it's a whole thing. If you really want to learn live streaming, you need to go check out Melanie.
Hold on, let me see if it's on. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Now you're getting a real behind the scenes. Thank you for everybody that's hanging out.
It might work here in a second.
We're just having some shenanigans at this
We're
point.
just having too much fun. All right, let me see if it's gonna work.
What happens? You gonna break it?
Maybe. There it is.
Look at it. Look at it. Oh my gosh. Hang on. Hang on. How do I do this? Look at it. Oh, wait. It's ruining the picture. Do you see this? Y'all, seriously. Seriously. Who knew that lava lamp? Oh. That was the best. The hand coming, like, hang on. There's crap over there.
Whoops, that's Addie's immunization records.
Let me move that.
It was all
Let
blurry
me
anyway.
move that. Yeah.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
Isn't that
you can have
awesome?
multiple cameras hooked up to your computer, and then in StreamYard, even as a guest,
Oh my
you
God.
can, just pick the other cameras and switch it up. But all right, so here's the GIF.
Amazing.
Let me see. Mind blown. Well, oh yeah, I got to go in here.
Wait, hang on.
What?
Hang on. Can you do that up there? The weekly show thing? Can you do?
You've never done this?
Jeez Louise.
How are you
need
even
to
like
do it.
my girl right now, and you've not used this? Girl, we need to do like a
because I
we need
don't-
to do like a StreamYard day.
I don't do as many like live streams as you do. It's usually for like my weekly show, but look at you. You got all of them organized. Y'all, I need to
So
get my
look,
life
it changes the
together.
colors, right? So you can have a different show with different brand colors, different logos. And then if you want a different show, like I have a show I do for some friends, we have a whole different concept, different colors,
Gosh,
different
blowing my mind
logo.
right now.
And so you can organize all that in folders. This is, if you're on the basic plan or higher, you can have these folders. These folders are actually, no, I actually think these are in the free plan. So for example, this is my old one I used to use, and I used to do all the fun stuff, but I've kind of tweaked my brand a little. But here's what Crystal's talking about.
It's my favorite.
These are what she's talking about. There's the mind blown.
I love it. I love it so much.
And then confetti, Yeah. So these are just transparent GIFs that you upload as overlays, and then you can use them. And these are the other overlays that you can use. So, but yeah, we need to get Crystal. We need to get her some of these of her own, right? That's what she's talking about.
Together for sure.
It all started with
I
this.
love that. Hang on.
It all started with the dancing parrot. I was like, I just want that dancing parrot in my streams. And then I decided, well, wait, I don't know what the copyright issues are. So I just made my own GIFs.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So on StreamYard's YouTube channel, you can find a video I made for them on how to do all that. So, but yeah, we need to get you your own, girl. We do.
Oh my gosh, y'all are getting more than what you paid for, which you didn't pay for.
If there's even anyone still watching, I may have scared them all away. I don't know, but
I think we need to. Okay, so we've been talking about trying to do we need to do our own podcast or live stream.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we need to do something like this,
just
on
like
a more regular basis.
Can we just call it like entrepreneur
shenanigans,
hootenanny and shenanigans? That's what I want to call it. Hootenanny and shenanigans.
Yes. I think that's the official name now. That is the official.
Hootenanny and shenanigans.
You two are too much fun, y'all.
I'm gonna start working on that branding right now.
Yes, please.
No, I'm not, because I got to get my wait list. But I got too much crap to do. That's going in the list of all the other fun and bright shiny objects that I can't get to.
On ideas that we have to do eventually. We're actually gonna end this. To stay on here, Mel.
Okay.
You stick around, and then I'm gonna kick you out, and I'm just gonna throw you out of here in a second. But if y'all have not registered, I'm gonna put this up here one more time. We have the 5-day podcast challenge. Come, Melanie's in the group. If you want to ask her more questions, or she's in our Facebook group too. Go watch her on YouTube because she does videos for StreamYard. She's a StreamYard partner, creator, all the things with them. So go hang out with Melanie. But this is one thing I love. I love the videos at the end. I love the videos at the end because it's so much less awkward than just saying, okay, bye. Let me find the button.
And then look for the button, and then also being like,
and then there's a delay when you end. And so it's like, hi, do I still smile at the camera and look a little psychotic? Or
it feels awkward. It's a lot easier to end with a little video. StreamYard makes it easy to do that.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to go. We'll be back. We're going to figure out a way to come back because this is a lot of fun.
Hootenanny and shenanigans.
Hootenanny and shenanigans. All right, guys. Y'all have a fantastic day. Bye.